Hello, everyone, and welcome to this March episode 2025 of What's New in Cloud FinOps with myself, Stephen Old, and my best friend,
Frank Contrepoix.
Hello, Frank.
Hello.
So we flipped this month, and I have got the Microsoft and the Google news,
Yes.
which means I've got more news than you for a change.
Yes. And yes, we were for the first 2 weeks, I was enjoying holidays. So that's why we are
Yes, that is true.
Delayed. That's
and then I was off last week.
Yes.
And then this week we're trying to record before we've got like the AWS Summit, and then I've got another event on Friday. This week I've got, so I'm not meant to be working today. It's Monday, everyone that's listening will probably come out today as well. And then I'm Tuesday Partner Summit, Wednesday Main Summit. Thursday, my son is going to be on TV. We're getting recorded for TV. And then Friday, I'm back to London for an event. So I'm literally all over the show. And we still found time for our listeners for a podcast.
Always.
So let's try to do it quickly.
Yep. Okay.
Or as it actually sounds. There we go. Instances and compute. Right. Here's an interesting one. The DDS, DV2, DSV2, and LS series of Azure virtual machines will retire on May the 1st, 2028. And therefore, these machines will no longer be available to be purchased after this date. But what is important about this? 3-year reserved instances for these VMs can no longer be purchased or renewed starting May the 1st, 2025. So in a few days. So your 3-year option will have disappeared. So it might push you, if you are using reservations, to move across at the same time as your new reservation.
And do they talk about savings plans? Because you still have 3-year savings plans and they will...
Well, savings plans are not VM specific.
Yeah. True. My bad.
Yeah. Yep. So, but it will remain, and don't give you as much saving in Azure as well. But they will remain in place. It's not like your RI will disappear. It just when you renew, when it comes up, you can't renew it. The next piece of news is that serverless GPUs with NVIDIA NIM support now generally available in Azure Container Apps. These serverless GPUs enable you to seamlessly run your AI workloads on demand with automatic scaling, optimized cold start per second billing with scale down to 0 when not in use, and reduced operational overhead to support easy real-time custom model inference and other GPU-related tasks. And now I'm actually jumping across onto something that isn't just written in our document. Google Cloud A4 VMs now generally available, and the A4X VMs in preview. I did have these all open with the fun stats, but what's big to know, each A4X contains 4 GPUs and an entire 72 GPU systems connected to by 5th generation NV linked to 720 petaflops of performance.
Yeah, that's the
whatever that means. And they're built on the GB200s. The A4s are built on the B200s. Has still got 72 petaflops of whatever. And there is somewhere where it talks about that they're optimized hardware, flexible consumption models, and they can help them optimize costs by choosing the right one. I think you'll be working at such a scale here that you probably should already know what you're doing with them.
Yes.
If you are.
I think
and if not, stop it.
Stop it now. It's costing way too much. I was talking with someone who is doing something for Oxford. I don't remember if it's a master or PhD, my bad. But, and we were talking about, but one of the things was, but NVIDIA doesn't do hardware. So no, they do. And that's what you've just read. They do the network, they do the rack, they do the servers, they do.
For these GPUs, it's all.
Because no one can. And that's why they are in everywhere environment. It is so new, moving so fast that there is no one with a standardized hardware that is just, it's going to work for more than the next 6 months. And they are the only one that really care. So it's quite impressive to see how they are also in that world. But let's press the button. We have DataDB and AI. And I have one, which is Amazon Bedrock Custom Model Import introduces real-time cost transparency. So the idea is that now you can import your custom model. So already, like before, you know what you're doing. It's a good starting point. But with this launch, customers are able to see the minimum compute resources compute model units required to run their model prior to model invocation in the Bedrock console and through Bedrock APIs. So as the model scales to handle more traffic, CloudWatch metric provides real-time visibility into the inference cost by showing the total number of CMU used. So this enables customers to better control spend through near-instant cost visibility and take action on the fly. And having cost data through CloudWatch, that might be quite new.
Yeah,
to think.
I think so.
Normally there is none. It's only performance.
No, it's logs. Yeah, performance logs. So. But it's faster data than your curve, right? So I have enriched CloudWatch logs before, so this would just save me having to do that.
Yes, but that's the thing. But you will get the data fast. The problem with CloudWatch is, as usual, you pay for storage, the speed, the stuff, so you end up with millions and millions and billions of rows, and you need to have quite a massive structure. But this is very welcome. It also shows the pressure that probably customers are putting on the cloud vendors to say, it's very cool, your AI bit, but I'm getting broke through it. I don't want to get bankrupt due to that. Yeah. So, that's for inference. So,
nice.
Cool.
Nice. My next one, now you can create physical snapshots of Azure database for PostgreSQL. Flexible server based on your business needs. This new feature complements the scheduled automated backups offered by the service while adding the flexibility to delete the on-demand backups. You can manage costs more effectively as you support your scheduled refresh activities. It was an odd one, but I pulled it out because it said that. So you can decide and drive some activity beyond just the automated, and then just keep them.
Okay. So virtual snapshot, not physical snapshot, would be. I'm getting slightly lost in there. Anyway.
Well, I don't know if it's taking a. Well, when you talk about physical backup or physical snapshot, it generally means one of two things, right? Either you are taking a snapshot of everything, including the physical machine.
Yeah.
Right? It could be one. Or that it's a physical, stored on a physical device that you can get access to. I have no idea which of those two things it is. I feel like, I don't know, but it said it could be cheaper. So I've talked about it. This could be my gap of knowledge in my Postgres Azure database service or my Azure SQL service in general.
It's interesting.
Interesting is the word for it, isn't it? Right. My next one is that Forrester study reveals significant benefits and cost savings with Spanner. Isn't that always the way? There's a whole study on it, but it can basically help you, your organization, increase cost savings and profit as well as operational efficiencies. And really, it's talking about it having a 132% return on investment within a 9-month payback period. But you're talking big dollars to start with. You've got to have a big problem for this to be sorting out. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I think that's
but I do love Spanner, so I always talk about
it. I know. There is only Ground Station, which is high on your list.
Yeah, I just feel the chance of using that's gone.
I think I should do. By the way, I'm not searching for Ground Station on my search for AWS. I should search for Ground Station, so I'm sure that there is always a news for you if there is anything changing with Ground Station.
That would be super. The next one is unlock the true cost of enterprise AI on Google Cloud. It says how to calculate your AI costs on Google Cloud. So this was on March the 4th, written by Pathik and Eric Lam. Eric, obviously, FinOps hero. And Pathik is the cost optimization lead, Delta Google Cloud Consulting. So this is a guide on breaking down the TCO for AI on Google Cloud, almost a bit kind of maybe not fully TVM style because I don't think it has got the people cost training. No, operational support costs. Yeah, so this is the Google Cloud side of it. But then it runs through a bunch of examples with assumptions, so it's quite nice actually. I always say I think they write good blogs with nice worked examples, and this is another example of it. So I thought that was a good one.
Cool. Storage. So mine is very, very, very niche. Okay?
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Amazon FSx for NetApp on tap which is already quite a
we're down
no
into
longer
the
charges to SnapLock, which is a software there, licensing
fees.
Okay, so this is if you are using Amazon FSx for NetApp on tap, then you don't have any more SnapLock, which I don't know what it does exactly, licensing fee for data stored in SnapLock volumes, making it a more cost-effective for customers to protect their business-critical data from ransomware, unauthorized deletion, and malicious modifications. My guess, it is a WORM. WORM stands for write once, read many.
Yeah.
And it's a way that is used, for example, I used to do that in hospitals where you needed to make sure that every radio done could not be tampered with. So it just, the file is there. You cannot change it. You can have deltas, but the original file will never, ever, ever change. And so that's what SnapLock is about. And in this case, you can avoid paying the license. So that is cool.
Yeah, I'm going down into the weeds to see if I can find more about SnapLock, and I can't, and I can't easily see any SnapLock licensing changes. But I'll ask some of our licensing
This
teams.
license removal requires no change to customer application and take effect automatically for both new and existing SnapLock volumes. It's a good agreement between Amazon and NetApp, probably. So they've agreed. They've just that's a contract thing. So happy us.
Yeah, it might be that they're only using part of the. SnapLock is part of the SnapLogic licensing, and it might be that they've just stopped licensing that piece separately. I don't know. I'm now in the NetApp docs, which is probably not where I need to be because it's my piece of news next, isn't it?
Go.
Oh yeah, okay. Let me go find it. Introducing tiered storage for Spanner. So I didn't know where this one should be, whether it should be in storage or it should be in databases, but I thought I'd spread them out. And so basically that on the 11th of March, Matthew Mucklow and Piyush Mathur announced that they're excited to announce the fully managed tiered storage for Spanner. A new capability lets you use larger data sets for Spanner by striking the right balance between cost and performance while minimizing operational overhead to a simple, easy-to-use interface. So you basically can use HDDs where suitable, automatically found out to be suitable, which is 80% cheaper than the existing SSDs, which is optimized for low latency and high throughput. So all makes sense. On a service of this magnitude and this complexity, it's probably not going to massively move. Well, I don't know. You can have quite large data sets, but you're being charged a lot for compute, aren't you? Anyway, it doesn't hurt. I think that's important.
And we know in the cloud everything compounds. So whatever reduction is a positive, it's going to help.
Exactly.
Cool. Music, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's me again. Yes. And this is visibility. And so, if this is the one I think is first, it's the only one actually, isn't it? So the AWS connector to Microsoft Azure, Microsoft Cost Management specifically, is being deprecated. We talked about that like a year ago. Yep. Anyway, it was retired on the 31st of March. It is gone. I remember talking about the news at the time that they gave it a year left. You stopped being able to add new ones, but your data is going to be there. But anyway, it is now gone. And I think we always kind of said at the time it was probably a drive towards the focus stuff. Yes. And so that's what's happened. So anyway, that's all the news there was there. And now the other one in commitments is exchange of Azure OpenAI service provisioned reservations. So do I read all this or just read the right bit? I'll read it all. As you perhaps already know, you can enjoy substantial discounts with Azure OpenAI provisioned reservations compared to the standard pay-as-you-go pricing. You can lock in lower rates for dedicated capacity, ensuring you have the resources needed to run your powerful AI models. In February, and we didn't see this in February easily, so that's why it's coming now. For added flexibility to manage your reservations, we enabled exchange for provision reservations directly in the Azure portal. You still have the option to request a refund as well, but in exchange. It's one of the things we've always liked about Azure, isn't it? That the RI exchange model, and now it's extended to your OpenAI.
Yoo-hoo!
Is that it?
No,
Oh, no.
we have savings. We have 4
savings.
and 2 are mine. So we're in savings. Amazon ECR announces ECR to ECR. That's lots of ECR. Pull through cache. Okay. 12th of March. Amazon ECR announced ECR to ECR pull through cache, a capability that allows customers to automatically sync container images between 2 ECR private registries existing across AWS region or account. So that's, in my opinion, it's going to be really, really cool when you create your Docker image into one, for example, dev environment, and you want to move it to pre-prod or something like this, you can move it internally directly between 2 registries.
Because it's Elastic Container Registry, isn't it? ECR?
Yes. So it is where when you have Docker, it's a repository of Dockers. Docker images. And so, but until now, you need to download it in some form, or you script it, download it, and put it elsewhere if you wanted to change regions. And now you can have, for example, pre-prod pulling it out from dev on a daily basis or something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So as customers grow, they often have containers deployments spent across multiple AWS regions, storing images within the region of deployment, improve application startup time due to lower latency for the pool. So until now,
there's a cache.
Yes, it was at the time. Yeah, you were keeping multiple copies, one for each region. It's not cost effective. In this case, the customer to sync image between ECR registries, only the images that are pooled are effectively moved.
So it works everywhere except for the lockdown regions. So China and GovCloud.
Yes, possibly. I'm not. Yeah, GovCloud for sure. India, not sure, because they're still. You are charged by a different company, so I don't know if they are special for this. But it seems it's available through all regions, excluding it. You're right. That's me being bad, not reading, excluding GovCloud and China. Well done, you.
Well, it's just not. If it's a sharey thing, they're the two it doesn't include.
Yes.
Like a standard, isn't it?
Next one is AWS Secrets Manager increases the API requests per second limit. So now AWS Secret Manager now supports higher request rate for the core set of API operations, get secret value and describe secret. And get secret value now support up to 10,000 requests per second, and describe secrets support 40,000 requests per second. The increased API limits are available at no additional cost and will automatically be applied to your AWS account. No further action is needed from your end. Increased API limit to get secret value and describe secret are available in all regions where the service operates. So, yeah, you now have access. You can increase the number of calls you do to Secret Manager, and you should not be charged for them. Youpidoo.
Happy days. Right, so staying in savings, optimizing AKS, so Azure Kubernetes Service costs. So this is in the Microsoft Cost Management Update. So running your applications in AKS clusters will significantly reduce your costs by optimizing resource utilization, enabling auto-scaling, and facilitating shared infrastructure. Blah, blah, blah. It's auto-scaling. So what does it actually say? In cost analysis, you can use Kubernetes views to get visibility into the granular costs of your AKS clusters. The views provide you with visibility into costs of namespaces running on your clusters, and aggregated view of all resources running in your cluster. You simply need to install the cost analysis add-on to your cluster to enable this experience for your Azure subscriptions. So you might be using something like OpenCost or KubeCost for this at the moment, which I still think possibly goes into greater detail because it goes beyond just the namespace. But that is a benefit. I was speaking to someone recently. I was like, okay, are you digging in by namespace at the moment? And they said, unfortunately, everything's in one namespace, which was just staggering. But those things do happen. So I've come across several companies that have done that now, and it's a big job to move across. But that is one of the benefits, is that you can break up costs by namespace once you do. The next piece of news is the hibernation for Azure virtual machines. This is for GPUs. VM hibernation is now generally available for GPU virtual machines, providing a cost-efficient way to pause workloads while preserving in-memory state. This feature is supported on select size sizes in the NVV4 and the NVADSA
I trust you.
10v5 VMs, and is available on both Linux and Windows operating systems across public regions. The document it links to is here we go. VM. So it's for VM sizes with up to 112 gigabytes of RAM. I wonder if that's because it's just so much to store. So the NVV4 series is the AMD Radeon Instinct MI25 GPUs, the AMD EPYC Rome CPUs, and the NVADS A10V5 is the NVIDIA A10 GPUs and EPYC 74F3V Milan CPUs. So
I trust you.
Yeah.
When you say these names, it's just
they're just letters, aren't they? Just a bunch of letters.
Yeah, you cannot read them, which is the problem. As a word, they say you go to usually. Well, yeah, I don't know. I always find it puzzling that Azure when it came up with all those letters.
There is some level of meaning, isn't it? It's just I think they've tried to make it easier to separate them than AWS did. But by doing that, they've made it more complicated for a novice like us to understand.
Yes,
because I mean, when I build stuff in Azure, which I do now, I'm trying to use it as my primary cloud because it's the one I'm weakest in, right? So I try to do the most on it. I just stick to the simplest machine I can. Normally a D.
There we go.
There we go, and that's all the news.
Yep.
In record time.
Yes.
21 minutes.
Good.
Yeah. So anything in sustainability news? Anything from your side?
Well, yeah. No. I can only say now that I am working here. Greenpeace is focusing on sustainability. And I need to do it, by the way, today too. There's a newsletter which is on LinkedIn. If people want to have a look, we're building some also simple trainings around this. So from sustainability perspective is a work in progress. There are events. I don't have one on top of my head, obviously, right now. Next time, I'll make sure to add sustainability news.
No problem. I guess the other pieces of news for people that is the AWS Summit this week in London. Yes. Frank and I will be there. Frank and I are also, I believe, going to be on a panel because it's all changed while I've been on holiday, but probably going to be on a panel at an event. Let me just see if I can scroll, because that's where I've been typing away. So Wednesday, 5 p.m. Dean Oliver's going to be on there as well. I'm going to be speaking to him today, and that's with our friends at Anadot, I believe.
Yeah, which is now Umbrella.
Umbrella. Is that what Anadot's changed its name to?
So Anadot, as anomaly detection, etc., stays as Anadoc, but cost optimization, cost saving is now Umbrella.
Okay. So what was Pilius? Because they acquired Pilius, didn't they?
I don't know.
They did. Well, they scored very highly on the review I gave them a few years ago, and I've given another one since. They've generally always done quite well on that because it was Ronnie's business, wasn't it? And then David and Co have taken it over. And they partner with people, right? They partnered with, if I remember, Yerkin, who I've got, Edward and Co. They're a good crew. And I want to say that I saw some sort of partnership announced at some point with a green ops data provider. But just in case,
yes, we do.
Yes, you do. Yeah, there we go. Just in case I'd misremembered that, or it wasn't.
I was about to say we also have one, and I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There we go. So yeah, we will be there. I actually will have my FinOps guys hoodie with me. I think, Frank, I've packed that today because I'm coming down tonight for the Partner Summit tomorrow. But if you're going to be in the area, ping us. If you'd ever like to come on an episode, speak to us while we're there. We will have stickers with us, I think.
Yes,
you only get a shiny sticker
them,
if you've been on the podcast.
Yeah, I need to. My old backpack broke, so now I'm desperate. I have my photography backpack, which weighs tons.
Oh, do you? Do you want to? So I mean,
don't worry,
I'm
get
begrudged
one.
to give it away. This is my super light backpack. People can't see this, which I got from Reply at an event last year.
I'm gonna be at Reply party in the evening.
You are going to a Reply party. Message your people there and see if you've got any of the little backpacks. They're really small, really slim, and they're absolutely excellent. That is life advice for everybody. Also, can I say, I've not really ever met a person at Reply I didn't like. Nice company, nice people.
Excellent.
Italian, aren't they?
Yes, they are Italian, which is
That
also
helps you.
I know an ambassador from there, and we've discovered a passion for pastries.
Oh, well,
and bacon. That's
as you
how
should.
we connected. Anyway,
Do you think there are people without a passion for pastries? It'd make me very
yeah, no, I
sad.
mean my passion to making pastries.
Yeah, and me. At least people should have a passion for either eating them or making them.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Indeed. Right. Well, there we go, everyone. We have bulked out 3 minutes by accident. Hopefully, we'll see some of you this week. And thank you so much for listening. We know we're behind on an interview episode. It's because of holidays. And we will double up and get some more to you soon. Thanks ever so much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.